DVR logo, Colorado Department of Labor and Employment. Orientation and mobility. Liz Robertson, PAT staff, sits for an interview.
Orientation and mobility specialists teach individuals with visual impairments to travel safely and independently in their home, their community, and their workplace. This training can include skills like the use of a mobility cane, street crossing skills, and the use of public transportation. Some successful orientation and mobility graduates choose to use guide dogs. Orientation and mobility training can help improve individuals' confidence and comfort with independent travel.
Denver Metro Office. PAT student, gray-haired Jim, sits for an interview.
Well, I felt pretty good. I mean, I had been using a white cane for probably 15 years or so.
Jim walks down the hall with his white cane.
However, just being in the city, it's just much more complicated and just so much more stimulation that it was a little much in the beginning. And so the training that I got here just helped me feel just so much more comfortable, much more at ease, to how to use the public transportation.
A picture of a public transit map.
Crossing streets when there's just so much going on. So it just helped me to be much, much more comfortable. I can use apps on my phone to figure out when the bus is coming, where the closest bus stop is, all these things that I would have just been completely lost before.
A new student, dark-haired Joe, uses the Blind Square app and begins being interviewed.
Tips. Blind Square. Blind Square. Search. Button. Placed. My local shared arts and college and food. Search.
Before O&M training, I did do a lot of independent travel, although I was a lot more nervous about street crossings before the O&M training.
Liz walking with a student who has a guide dog. A pedestrian signal counting down the time for the crossing.
I also worked with an app called Blind Square, so learning how to use Blind Square to get to different places.
Well, the O&M training that I received has significantly impacted my comfort level in just getting about in the world on my own.
Jim walks down the hall with his white cane.
When you can't see, it's frightening to be out in the street, on sidewalks, learning how to cross streets, knowing where you are. It's incredibly disorienting when you can't see things. The O&M instructors of the PAT were just incredibly helpful, just very calm and agreeable, easy people, and very understanding of all the challenges associated with visual impairment.
So I think the O&M training has made me much more confident about street crossings in particular.
Liz walking with a student who has a guide dog.
I do feel much safer in that area.
Liz walks with the same student and camera pans to a pedestrian signal.
I use an app called Move It when I'm on the bus. And that's really helpful in knowing when to get off the bus, because I used to have to tell the driver to let me off at a specific stop, and there would be times where the driver would forget to let me off, and that's no longer an issue with this particular app.
So it just helped me so much to feel so much more comfortable. And, now I can use my phone to look things up, like where the buses are, when the buses are coming, all these things. And just all of that just brings a great deal of comfort when so much feels overwhelming. When you feel like, okay, I can do this part, and then it just adds greatly to the sense of safety and security and comfort in being able to get around on your own.
For more information, please visit dvr.colorado.gov or call 303-318-8571.